no, we know difficult road game going against a ton of respect for Coach Fern, the Charlotte program, their players, their coaches. Great in-state rivalry game, and I think that's what's great about college basketball. And last year, the atmosphere we went in there was absolutely fantastic, as good as we've seen in this conference. So we know what kind of challenge it's going to be this weekend.
Last game, I think you assisted exactly 50% of your baskets. Early in the season, those assist numbers were a lot higher percentage-wise, and it seems like the guys are creating more of their own shots. Do you feel like that has led to this jolt in offensive stability with the ability to create shots off the dribble?
No, I think what it is, to be quite honest with you, is when you play two teams, our last two teams have been total switching teams, on and off the ball. So that's how basketball works. If a team switches on and off the ball, they create isolation situations. And every game is unique based on the defense. No different than football. If a team is more of a run stop, pass stop, zone team, high pressure man-to-man, bump and run, physical team, it's going to determine what some of the offense looks like. And so the way UTSA plays defense and the way UAB plays defense is when they're in man, they switch on and off ball, creating isolation basketball, which means you do have to go drive on your own, and sometimes that does create guys or force guys to have to do a little bit more as opposed to ball movement. But that being said, when you assist on 50% of your field goals and you do it through, they went zone, they ran 1-3-1 back to man, 1-3-1 back to 2-3 zone. I think our guys did a good job keeping that ball moving and getting player ball movement. But again, defense will dictate a lot of time what the offense has to look like and what you have to do. And I thought we did a good job versus a very good team the last two games, but 82 points the other night versus a team that stymies team. Here's the other thing I would say to that. Anytime you go into two games, UTSA was one of the leading teams forcing turnovers in the league. We think we turned it over 11 times there and 8 times versus UAB. UAB's defense has caused a lot of turnovers with the way they switch back, forth, and do the switching that we're alluding to. And I thought our guys did a great job taking care of the basketball with 8 turnovers.
Coach, C.J. Walker has just been huge down the stretch at conference play. Can you just kind of touch on the impact he's had on this team?
I think he's just continuing to get better and better, and I've said this here many times. I think that will continue to happen for this reason. His coachability and his humility to continue to want to learn. It's not always easy for someone who's 23 years old, 6th year of college, been coached by some great coaches, been at great programs, to say, hey, I want to continue to learn and add individual fundamentals to my game. I want to learn to play a new way. I'm learning, obviously, to play within a new system, offense and defense here at ECU. And I think his coachability, his humility has allowed him to continue to grow at a very high level. And again, I've said this and I'll repeat it. I've said it in post-game press conferences, radio interviews, and right here in these practice interviews, I've said, I think he will continue to get better and better, and the best is in front of him. And we're seeing it right now, especially in this last stretch.
What stands out about Charlotte on the film?
Well, really, really dynamic offensive team, the way they run their system. It's something they don't turn the ball over a lot. They have great ball security. That's something that's very important. They guard the three-point line very well. And the number one thing, they are number 2 in the nation getting to the free throw line in terms of scoring from the free throw line. So that causes a lot of stress on your defense when they don't turn the ball over and they score so much on the free throw line. So we're going to have to do a good job, attempting to speed them up and attempting not to let them just take care of the basketball the whole time, run long possessions, and then get to the free throw line at the end. And then their defense, the way they play defense with their man, with their zone, we know they do a really good job.
You mentioned speeding them up. It seems like this year when you've played fast teams, you've done a good job of slowing them down. When you've played slow teams, you've done a great job of speeding them up. What would be your assessment on that? Do you think you've controlled the pace of the games well?
I don't know if we've controlled the pace. Here's what I do know, that we try and play our style. And, our style has been pretty documented. We know we have to get to the paint. We know we have to offensive rebound. We know there's times based on score that we have to speed the tempo up. We change our defenses up as well, the same as we talked about UAB doing, Charlotte does. We try in and out of defenses, and sometimes if we can create turnovers like that, or we can get a team rushing a little bit, that's to a benefit. But I sure would love to say here, hey, I know we have been able to control pace and tempo, but every game is different, to be quite honest, and we know what the challenges are playing Charlotte. We got to do our best to play to our identity.